everybody. Today we are going to be making some cornbread croutons that I am going to be including in another separate meal, but I have not done a video just of the croutons, so I thought I'd just throw one in here for you, see how we make them and how I do them. Now I'm going to do a caveat here. I have done I bake mine in my Harvest Right trays, but I want to warn you, my trays are old trays, and I've done a lot of reading. I follow the groups, Facebook groups and all that, and I noticed that it appears that the newer trays warp real easy. Probably made a little bit thinner, you know, save a few pennies there and there. So I'm comfortable putting my trays in the oven. I've done it before, but these are old trays. So if you have the newer models within the past few years, do so at your own risk, because I've seen people saying that their trays are warping just putting them in the freeze dryer without you putting them in the oven. So I don't want you to ruin your trays doing it this way. In that case, just use a 9x13 baking dish and put it in there with 9x13. You'll be able to spread it out fairly thin and make your crackers that way. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Don't do it my way unless you have the old trays. So I'd hate to be the cause of you ruining your Harvest Right freeze drying trays. All right, so I buy the Jiffy Mix cornmeal. That's like 50 cents. They're like 50 cents, and they do the job for me, so that's what I use. And I'm just going to mix this up according to the box directions, which is 1 package of corn mix. Dump into your bowl like that. 1 egg. Into the bowl like that. And 1/3 cup milk. Here I was sitting down thinking I had everything prepared, and of course I did not. Not unusual for me. All right, 1/3 cup of milk. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. And we just pour that in and get it all mixed together. Now I have preheated my oven according to the box direction, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So it says mixed ingredient batter will be slightly lumpy. Let batter rest for 3 to 4 minutes if you really want it to puff up, which I don't want it to puff up as much. So it's kind of lumpy there. Since we're making crackers, so I'm going to put my eggs and my milk away and clear the table off. By then I'll figure that's just set long enough. All right. Now we are going to I'm just going to pour this in my tray. You would probably be pouring this into your 9x13. Alright, got that all in there, and then we're just kind of spread it out. If you wanted a thicker corn muffin, you could always put 2 mixes in this, but I don't really want them too thick. Alright, there we go. Get that in there. Alright, so we're going to pop this in the oven. It says for 15 to 20 minutes, but I'm going to keep an eye on this until it's golden brown because it's so thin we don't want to burn it. So I'll come back and let you know how long I bake this for. Okay, there's my fresh cornbread, fresh out of the oven. As you can see, we spread that pretty thin and it still rises quite a bit. So what I'm going to let this do is cool down, and then we're going to come back and divide this off. But I want it to cool down first, so I'll see you once that's cooled down a bit. That was 17 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So, see you in a minute. Alright, that's nice and cooled down for about half an hour. So let's set up our dividers. What I'm going to do is set these up in the smallest configuration that there is. Which is pretty easy to do. Just like that. So we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 10. So we're going to end up with 40 croutons or cornbread crackers or whatever you want to call them. So, like I say, this cornbread is cooled down. So now I'm just going to press these in there like that. And voila. We ended up with 40 perfectly sized little crackers. So, my tray is totally cold now, or room temperature, so I feel comfortable putting this in the freezer, and we're going to freeze this until frozen solid, and then we'll put them into the freeze dryer, the next load. You would not want to put your trays in the freezer hot. Obviously that would warp your trays. And I do want to reiterate again, just to be on the safe side in case you fast forwarded through earlier, my trays are the old Harvest Right trays. Apparently the new Harvest Right trays are not built as well, and I've read people having their trays warped just by putting them in the freeze dryer. So you definitely wouldn't want to use those in your oven. But if you got the older trays, you should be all right. I won't guarantee that. Do so at your own risk. Alright, so let me get these in the freezer, get them frozen solid. Next time you see them, they'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. I'll see you then. Okay, there we go. There's my cornbread squares. We're calling them croutons or crackers. And they ran for 40 hours, but really that was more for what else was in the freeze dryer other than this, because I bet these would have been done pretty quickly on their own. Oh, we're going to be using these in an upcoming video, and I'm going to use 4 squares per meal. So I'm going to go ahead and pack them 4 into a little sandwich bag like that. And there's 40 squares, so I think that should give me, if my math is correct, that should give me 10 bags for my 10 meals. So let me get this done off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, that's the 10 little Ziploc or sandwich bags. Let me take a taste of some of these. That'd make a nice cracker just on its own. So what I'm going to do is take these 10 bags for now and put them in this gallon bag. That's because we're not going to get to using these in the meal probably for 2 or 3 weeks, because I haven't even made the product yet that we're going to freeze dry. So I've got that. There's 10 little sandwich bags with 4 crackers in each. That's a gallon bag. So I'm going to put 2 of my O2 absorbers in there. We'll get these air sealed and put away. We can put those away for long-term storage, or in my case, we'll be breaking them open in a future video. So, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.